All right. What's up, YouTube? Yeah, so realistically, what we're going to be doing here is basically just having fun, just watching good stuff. I have a couple things that I want to review and kind of talk about with you guys, specifically about Wes Watson, which I think will be really fun. So we're going to do a little quick review of some brain rot content. So my goal, you know what, is just to review shit and talk about it with you. There's this video that this guy drops about Wes Watson, and I think it's pretty interesting. I've only seen like the first couple minutes of it, where he's talking about basically the feds are coming for Wes Watson and his life's gonna be ruined, and I'm kind of interested in it. Truly, I think Wes Watson is a fucking scumbag. I think he is approaching failure as fast than any influencer we've ever seen before, and I hate the guy personally. Like, this is just, he's just such a douchebag. It's not like it's because he's rich or anything like that. It's just because he's genuinely just ugly, a douchebag, and he's a felon, right? I just hate how people who have huge criminal records get absolutely, you know, like blown up to be some kind of hard worker or hard kind of badass dude. Yeah, it's just a little bit weird, man. I don't know how these people kind of catch on so quickly, honestly. It's kind of freaky, to be honest. It's kind of freaky. So we're gonna watch a video together. So this video posted by Jesse on Fire. We knew Wes Watson before he went to prison. Feds are coming for him. Dude's got 418,000 subscribers. This video was posted 9 days ago.
So a lot of you guys already know who this dude is. This is Wes Watson. All right. So he is basically the primary focus of the internet that loves to pick a dude out and just light them up. He is the central figure of that community right now.
Yeah, like it's kind of funny. Everyone on the entire internet, whether it's Kenny KO, whether it's me, whether it's Johnny Bravo, Greg Doucette, everyone has sort of concentrated their efforts at thrashing Wes Watson. And what's happened is all of the little incels on the internet, which I love, they've gone out and they've found ways to just completely uncover everything humanly possible about Wes Watson, which I just think is the funniest shit to be a part of. I don't know how people from the internet can find so many things, but man, they can go way back. People found what prisons he went to, what he went to prison for, which wasn't anything even that crazy. He talks about what he went to prison for being like for family type stuff, and it was absolutely not. He was just scamming people. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
And that is definitely a place you do not want to be. I don't care who you are. I don't care how big your shoulders are. I don't care how much jewelry you wear, what your house looks like, how much money you have.
What is the thing with the fucking jewelry too? I honestly don't understand what the point is. Like, if I wear a big chain like that around my neck, I feel like a fucking dweeb. I feel weird wearing a bracelet. Like, how much does that thing weigh? Like a pound of metal? What is the point, bro? Just leave it at home. Like, and if the funny thing is if you go to any other country, people are just gonna yank that shit off of your neck. Like, in Thailand, that happens so many times where these like rich white boys would come to Thailand and then they would just get absolutely thrashed by some Thai dudes. They'd have all their jewelry ripped off, and it's like, okay, so why'd you wear it in the first place, brother? Like, just, it's silly to me. It's a silly concept. I don't know, maybe someone is being like more consciously aware of his presence in space, you know, in like my safety. I guess I wouldn't want like a big target on my back, and ultimately that target being, hey, look, I have, you know, 20 grand of chain on my neck. That's just a terrible idea to me. Terrible idea.
It's just like prison. Well, Jesse on Fire, how is that like prison? Simple. It's a numbers game. Okay. When they get it on for you and you have this army of trolls online, an army of creators who are like, I'm going to light this dude up, it never ends, man. And it just grows exponentially. I have seen it destroy people's careers. I am watching it destroy his career right now.
A great example of this actually is Liver King. Liver King was at one point really respected by a lot of people until content creators started actually publishing content about Liver King. And then suddenly he had like this precipitous fall off and people absolutely thrashed the Liver King for everything. He got exposed. People claimed that he was doing shit he wasn't doing or doing shit that he was doing. You know, people were just coming up with all sorts of theories, and it suddenly just became this huge fall off to where now, you know, Liver King is kind of not hitting the algorithm anymore. He's not in any massive feeds. Like, you can still see him doing his antics, but he's like smoking cigarettes with weird guys and like doing all this weird stuff. We made videos on it before, but you see this so often with dudes where they'll reach this really high pinnacle and then they just try to be too boisterous and then they just get targeted. And instead of being like subtle and I think more importantly calm and like not, how should I say it, like cocky, you know, not like this really gluttonous asshole, and instead they could just be like very humane, very normal, very calm, but they can't do that when they reach those pinnacles, and so everyone makes fun of them. It's just like the one bully in school no one liked, but no one can do anything about it. The internet's a fucking free-for-all, man. It's RuneScape's wilds, bro. You can kill anybody you want and you just have to target one guy, and as soon as everyone picks up on him, it's done.
Right here, when Wes did the Fresh Out interview, which I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with. And I was like, man, this guy is really, really talented. I don't exactly remember how this came about, but somehow I ended up in a conversation with my wife and her friends and found out that this dude lived with 3 of my wife's best friends briefly. Well, one of them for a while and the other 2 briefly in San Diego prior to him going to prison. And so I found out that what we're going to hear in this interview right here, where he lays out what his life was prior to going to prison, was not true. Okay? Like, not true. Pretty outlandish claims, and I know they're not true, and I have always known they weren't true. Okay? And why this is relevant is because here is the genesis of his career.
I started smoking weed. I didn't want to pay for that shit. So I started fucking hustling. I wanted that shit for free. All of a sudden, I start making a couple hundred. That turns into elbows. Then I start pushing some big weight. You know, I start getting 100 packs, 200 packs. I'm driving a fucking Escalade to high school at this time.
Oh, shit.
People are driving fucking Honda Civics and shit that their parents paid for them. And I got an Escalade on.
He looks so cracked out here. Like, this version of Wes just looks so deranged with that goatee, and he looks just like, I don't know, maybe this is like recycle or something, but he just looks way different.
23s. And I mean, this was when 50 had the one with the game, and he's got the doors up on the red one, Lamborghini does, and I'm thinking I'm cool as fuck, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, 2003 comes out, I get that Rover.
Yeah.
I get the black Rover, and I didn't even wait 10 fucking minutes. I put the black fucking 23s on it, and I was killing on that one too. But, you know, pushing those packs, I was making crazy fucking money. I was getting the BCs from Canada, and I mean, I'm making $400 off each bow. I'm getting 200 at a time. You know, half's going to one homie, half's going to the other. I'm making 80 grand a pop every fucking 10 days.
I wonder if that's actually true. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, like in high school, I don't know about that. That's kind of fucking crazy, to be honest. Jesus Christ, man. Like, if you're in high school and you're actually pushing that much drugs, that's a little crazy, right? And I think someone's going to start pointing fingers if you're driving up to school in Escalades and brand new Land Rovers and shit like that. I mean, cool, I guess. Again, I don't understand like why this is, you know, in the interview the interview he's pulling up, the guy's like kind of amazed by this, like he's impressed. And I'm like, I don't think that's impressive. Like, if you have something that people are going to buy because they virtually are addicted to it, and you're leveraging that because of their addictions, like, it's not that impressive. It's pretty fucking easy to do. You know what I mean? It's just like, find the guy that sells it, buy more of it, sell it to other people, repeat. It's a crime. You know, that's like why it's not legal. I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, first of all, I watched him blow up. These are the ones that he blew up on. Okay, so this is like probably like his like 10th video.
You can see the drastic change in his character already, like the purplish reddish skin, the open jaw, the fucking glasses. Like, he's already developing. You notice he always wears fucking glasses too. It's because his face is so ugly, he has to hide that shit.
I was watching 5 years ago. I was like watching this, just like, I think I like this guy, man. So this is what it was like early on, and this is the kind of stuff that he blew up on.
A lot of confusion on the streets, a lot of confusion in the media, a lot.
The yelling, like as if his phone isn't just right there. Who is standing within 10 to 20 feet of this dude? I just imagine there's probably like these kids in a park, like maybe 30 feet away or something. You're just looking at this guy like, mommy, who the fuck is this? And she's like, let's go, son, let's go. Like, what is this man doing with his shirt off, screaming, like grunting? So you can tell he's like holding pressure to get his veins to pop out. And every time he talks, he's like got to flex his bicep. It's like a whole piece together thing. It's not just a easy to make video. He like literally sets up this phone and he's like, all right, got to make sure I set my bicep in the right spot. Got to make sure I hyperventilate before this to get my veins popping. Okay, is my skin purple? Let's slap my chest a little bit to get that shit redder. It's like, come on, brother. Like, we know what the fuck is going on, man.
A lot of confusion in general, which I used to be a massive part of. Chasing that leisure life, that perpetual pleasure chasing lifestyle that only weakens you. The comfort that we seek that weakens us. Then the second we get in a harsh situation, here come the tears. Here it comes.
God, he's insufferable. Yeah, he's like the worst version of humanity I think you could ever have in your life. Anyone around him while he's recording content, I'm sure is absolutely despising him every second of the day. He's so uncontrollably, he's self-ostracizing is what he's doing. Like, he's pushing himself away from people, thinking that, you know, his whole quote is that he's rare or something. He's not rare, he's just annoying. So no one wants to be like him or be around him. He's definitely on that hyphy mud, bro. He's taking 3 scoops of hyphy every single day.
The second you land,
that's how his skin is so purple right now.
In the pen, straight ding, bitch up time.
Yeah.
The point is,
so I aligned with this because I was like, yeah, because I had experience with, chasing the leisure, and then when things get hard, most people crack. Okay. I have a lot of experience with that. And, I've had some rough times, some good times, but I am a person who will put my nose down and fucking grind. So I aligned with a lot of the stuff that he has, like a lot of the stuff that he said. But let's just go on a trip really quick. Okay. So let's just go like.
And you know what? I agree. Like, I think that Wes, the principles in which he started to preach are generally good. If you need to work, if you need more money, if you need something done, just work harder. Like, at the end of the day, a lot of the times people are just at a certain, have like this self-limiter, which disenables them to work harder or longer when they probably should and could, but yet they don't. The fact is that it turns into this, like this happens with so many people. They'll say like one thing that is generally agreeable, like this, like work harder, and then it converts into this whole other like bullshit thing that is completely different, like disgustingly different, right? And I think that's West in a nutshell. Like most people who are father those fucking dweebs on the internet will look at Wes and he's talking about changing your life and grinding really hard, and then they see those messages and it's like, sure, but then they actually like listen to the full message. It's like, okay, what the fuck is this guy actually talking about, man? Like, who are we listening to right now? He's an ex-convict, let's be honest.
Like this, all right? So the way I got here was I went to videos, I went to oldest, right? So you go oldest, this is what you're looking at, right? His old stuff.
Yeah, I guarantee he's not like this IRL. I guarantee he's probably much more quiet, much more reserved, probably not even to any kind of real degree this kind of confrontational at all. I bet he's very passive in a lot of different ways, and it is a character, to be honest.
You go to his new stuff, you can see they're getting significantly less views, right? Because he's talking from a $30 million property, and this is what he's like now.
You guys, it's a special occasion. It's a special occasion. I had to wear my chains for the special occasion. All these beta broads online.
What is with this beta stuff? Like, Wes Watson is crazy, man. Clickbait hate makes me famous. No. It doesn't make you famous. It makes people make more fun of you. If anyone's buying from you, I think congruently we can all say that they're just idiots who don't have awareness of who you are, and all they have to do is look up your name, and the first things that are going to pop up on Google, on YouTube, on Instagram are about how you scam people. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, just because people make videos of you isn't like, you can't leverage that forever. At some point, you're going to reach critical mass where things are not going to go in your favor. Who is that one creator? He was that the big black dude who always talked about football in his room. Turns out someone caught him as a pedophile, and that was all from all these people starting to talk to him. It was like, oh my God, what is this fucking dude? You guys know who I'm talking about for sure. Anyways, this guy, was a meme, basically. He was a meme. What is his name? Yes, EDP, bro. Oh my God, EDP. The best memes came from that man. The best fucking memes came from that fan, dude. EDP 445. That was a brilliant era. But the dude got so big, people started digging into his shit and finding out that, hey, things aren't going so well for him. Homie's a pedophile. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be a little careful. And that's what's happening with West. Like, people are finding out that he's doing, G for P. Like, you know what that shit is? He's stealing clothes from people. He's fucking scamming people in his coaching calls, and he'll like basically take $7,000 for 3 months of coaching, have like maybe 3 calls with you. It's just a whole thing it's the same thing Cali Muscle's doing, right? It's like this outside looking in thing. It's like, oh my gosh, maybe he has some insider information. And then you get inside and you're like, okay, this guy's just a fucking creep, and he's just trying to scam more people, and he's really an ex-con because he's just trying to do more crimes, but under a legal umbrella. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I've crossed a whole new level of delusion. These little boys who couldn't pull a chick to save their lives, they can't fathom how a man who drives a fucking Bugatti and is famous and is jacked living in Miami could pull chicks without paying for them.
Oh my God. Hold up. I think I just heard him talking about like something about the leisure life, and then he talked about a Bugatti, $30 million property, and bitches. I feel like he's lost the message, dude. Like, I think that he potentially may have lost the fucking message along the way somewhere. Now, just to make sure.
Ripped, rich, and rectal. That's too
that
far.
any of the West loyalists are like, oh, look at this little beta ass bitch who couldn't pull a bitch who's hating. This is my girl. This is my wife. We have 3 kids together. Okay.
Yeah, actually an interesting point. Everybody who's talking about Wes usually has a really sturdy relationship, and Wes literally cannot hire anyone but escorts. And there's a whole, guys, you got to go to Reddit. Man, there's a whole Wes Watson page dedicated to exposing him, and the shit that they dig up is crazy to me. And they do some really vile jokes on there too. But like every girl he's with, they're like, oh, yep, she's on this escort site. She's on this escort site. She's here. She's there. And it's like quite literally, the fact of the matter is this man can't find a real woman to hang out with him. I wonder why. Like, it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, what is he doing that requires him to pay females to hang out with them? I wonder what that is.
Okay. Do I look jacked? Am I jacked enough for you? I don't actually go to the gym quite as much anymore because I spend all of my time training jujitsu, where I learned to strangle people to death and break their limbs. But nonetheless, okay, here's my girl.
Even while he's in federal jail, prosecutors allege in new court filing.
Yeah. So I've been married to her for 16 years. Okay. She's the one with the best friends who lived with Wes. And we're going to get into, again, I told you, I will tell you exactly what they told me about Wes's life prior to prison and what's true and what's not about his $80,000 every 10 days. Yeah, that's more money than we make now. And we make a lot of fucking dough. So something tells me that, well, not something tells me, I know he's lying. Okay, Wes Watson blew up on both YouTube and Instagram, and he started a program where he sells coaching to people, and like the pricing is insanity, dude.
Yeah, it's like he charges at start, the lowest cost program is $7,000 for 3 months of coaching. There is literally no advice a human being could give you that would be worth that much money. I could see like $7,000 for a coaching program for a year. Like, I think that's realistic. If you're showing someone how to start a business, how to legitimize their business, make sure they're doing taxes, make sure they have the right CPAs, make sure they got their accounting good, showing them how to do a sale, how to nurture the leads, how to get funnels, like those things are pretty important, and any business is going to need them. So if you can learn how to do those things, you can make most businesses successful to at least some degree. But quite literally, the motherfucker is not going to teach you those things. There's no way Wes can teach you anything about taxes. There's no way Wes knows anything about accounting. There's no way he could tell you how to invest your money when the motherfucker's leasing Bugattis and, $70,000 a month houses. There's no way. Like, he's not the guy to listen to. It's like your 60-year-old grandfather who, owns 2 houses or whatever and like has made it in his life. Like, here's the thing. Here's my honest theory. I think that Wes Watson is probably struggling to breathe. And every single day he has to wake up and work his ass off at publishing videos like this, because let's be honest, all he does each and every single day is post stories on Instagram, post videos on Instagram. Like, he posts 6 or 7 times a day. Who has that much time? Like, realistically, if you're making this much money, how do you have that much time to post this much? If people are paying you $7,000 for 3 months, some people are saying like $10,000 or $40,000 for a year. That's crazy. Like, I would be working my ass off for someone who's paying me $40,000 per year, yet he's on Instagram like 4 or 5 hours a day. And you can say, oh, he's just working harder, he's just working longer. It's like, no, he's not. No, he's not. Let's be for fucking real. When he's posting content, it ain't that early, it ain't that late. And he's just getting up. He's posting in bed. He's posting, getting ready for bed and shit. And it's like he's living the leisure life. The one thing he talked about being completely against. It's fucking wild. But I bet bro literally charges more than $40,000 a year for some individuals. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's probably what he tells people. And then he gets people who are like, hey man, what can you do for me? And he's like, okay, this much. You have to be delusional. You have to be delusional. The other thing this fucking shit is too, takes out of his 1 million followers, takes 2 people a month to make his income work for him, to pay off the lease, to pay off whatever, the Bugatti lease or whatever. It's just a sad fucking reality, man.
You how to sell coaching. We can get into all of that later. But the pricing is like, you're talking like $40,000 in some cases. All right. $40,000. Okay. Now, this is Dubs. All right. Dubs was one of the first guys that I saw start calling out his stories from prison, because I just assumed his stories from prison were interesting. I liked watching this guy because I thought I like watching people who talk on camera, and I find their stories and themselves interesting. Okay. You could have 2 people who have identical stories. One of them, I will be like, I'm never watching this guy again after 11 seconds. And the other one, I'll watch him talk about whatever, even if I know it might not even necessarily be true.
No shot. He claims to wake up at 1:45 and go to bed at 12 a.m. There's no shot. Like, you wouldn't be functioning. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be fucking dead. speaking from experience, right? Like, you know, I talk about the military a lot because I was in it for a big portion of my life. Like, if you sleep for like 4 hours or less, you can't even do anything. Doesn't matter how much caffeine you have. Like, you will go and just fall asleep standing. The amount of times the motherfucker would fall asleep just standing up was crazy. You can't function on like even 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep over a repeated amount of time. You're just going to be so low functioning, it's not even worth it.
Because that's not what I find entertaining. I'm entertained by people, not necessarily the story. Okay. But so Dubs on the top left right there is the certified version of what Wes was pretending to be. Dubs is very charismatic. He tells a great story. He's very interesting. So I watch a lot of his videos. Okay. He got convicted of murder. He did 25 years. He was supposed to be doing life. He got paroled. All right. He did time in New Folsom and Pelican Bay. Do you know what Pelican Bay is? If you are a California state prisoner who is one of these like lifer, criminals or people who like take pride in your criminal life, then Dubs is the most credible person you will find on YouTube because he for real did all of the things that these all other guys are all pretending that they did. Okay. And you can check his background, you can check his credibility, and it's all bulletproof. And he also is very charismatic on camera. So people watch him. And so he would watch Wes Watson's videos where Wes Watson was representing that he had done time on all these level 4 yards. He's all, let me tell you what the difference between a level 4 California yard is and a level 2 and a level 3. And sometimes you got to get down like a clown, Charlie Brown, and I'll cut this dude's ear off. I cut off his nose and I ate it. I made soup out of his face, son. And you're like, damn, this dude made soup out of a dude's face. Is that what people do in California prisons? Of course it is, dude. That's what Wes said. That's standard for the woods, dude. You make soup out of a dude's face. You're like, damn. And Dubs is like, yeah, none of that's true.
Does Wes actually claim natural? That has to be a troll. There's no way this man's actually claiming. Like, you can see his high blood pressure from 8 miles away. He even said, when I was making his last video about him on the one I just published with Cali Muscle, I went to his Instagram profile and he made a post saying that he was up 8 pounds in 3 days because he just shifted his macros a little bit. And I'm like, dude, you're either gaining 8 pounds of fat or you just started a cycle. Like, it's one of those two things. Like, let's be for fucking real. And to be honest, like, he positions his arm in this really specific way whenever he's recording. But if you guys like actually see him stood next to somebody else, he is very small. Not only small, but he's very short. Like Greg Doucette style short.
Single part of that story is a lie, and he'll just call it out. So it's hilarious because I get to watch two people who I think are interesting, and one of them is clowning on the other one. It's gold, right? So I watch both these guys a lot. Right? Not to mention, I knew Wes was lying from the very beginning. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I know about that, obviously, in this video. Now, I'm going to get to that in 1 second. I'll tell you guys exactly what I know right after I just point out that when Charlie is making fun of you, okay, Penguins 0.
His car is about why he needs more money to teach more people to become millionaires. He has a whole channel dedicated to just whining to his followers about giving him money, how he needs more money. He is literally just a dominatrix that desperate dudes will pay and think that somehow they're going to make money from it or he's going to impart wisdom on them.
I don't know if he's a big dude though. Like, if we just hold up, like if we just go to his Instagram and we're just like, let's be, really objective here. And we're trying to say like, okay, is Wes Watson a big dude? But he'll post these videos like where he's, let's say like this, right? Where he's got like that wide angle lens on. He's, he's standing at the edge of the wide angle to get the distortion of the wide angle lens. It's just some random guy in the middle of the fucking photo. Like, what's going on? All right. So it's so funny, bro. And so like, yeah, his arm looks huge here. But if you actually put him near anybody, for instance, like his girl right here, does he look like he's that big? I don't think so. I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, if we look at him just standing around, is he really that big? I don't think so, man. I don't think so at all, bro. And like, look, Big Boy is here. Catch Big Boy standing next to Wes and they're in a video together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like Wes is not that big. These guys all look so ragged, bro. They just look like leather. They look like nasty fucking leather. Ugh. I bet they paid that girl at least $40 to stand in that picture.
Actually have a business. His business is looking for pay piggies that will pay him under the ruse that he's going to give them life advice, but he openly mocks them for doing it too. It's this like crazy cycle.
These are the people who make the videos calling studs like me fake alphas. Oh my God.
Wes Watson has become a full-blown special grade lol cow over the last...
Oh my God, dude. I love this guy, man. This is the king of YouTube, okay? Charlie's the king of YouTube. This dude will talk about a topic for 10 minutes, okay? He does no thumbnail. He does no like big thought about what the title's going to be, and it does 1.9 million views. You have any idea how much money this dude is making in AdSense?
Yeah, I think people actually don't realize it. You guys realize, like, on this channel, for like every, I think it's about 10,000 views. Let's just take the month of December. You guys can do or November. You guys can do like how many views I racked up in November. But I made 2.6K in just ad revenue from this YouTube channel, which I spend way more for editors and shit like that. So it really doesn't matter to me. But that's for a channel that's averaging like 4 to 5K views per video. Some videos do really well, like 100K, but a lot of them, are in that 4 to 5K range. So if Charlie's making, an average of, let's just say, even a measly 1 million, which most of his videos are above, he's making close to $30,000 to $40,000 per YouTube video he posts. Charlie posts 2 videos a day. Like, that's insane. 40K, 50K. Twice a day. That's crazy.
All right, I'm just going to tell you guys what I know, and then we're going to get into some more of the, what has caused all of this for Wes, because this is the inciting incident that caused the absolute downfall. There were people making fun of him before, but this is what really did it. But here's what I know. He lived with Gabrielle's friend prior to going to jail. I think it was maybe 18 months to 2 years before he went to jail. So clearly, well after he said he was driving Lamborghini doors and making 80 grand every 10 days. Okay. He didn't have money for rent. He did not pay for bills. He lived with her, and he lived with her 2 other friends that lived there before him. And then he had to move in with his girl because he didn't have money. And the 2 other girls hated him so much that they moved out. They're like, I didn't sign up to live with your dude who's totally crazy and is not contributing to bills. And so they left. Okay. So he ended up living with Gabrielle's friend. He didn't have money for bills. That is why he moved in with her. And that is it's just true, man. That is something that happened. I know this for 100% sure. Now, let's talk. I mean, honestly, I never put this out there because I didn't think it was important, honestly. Because it's like, okay, well, if the guy's lying about having done time in California, why would anybody believe what he said about what he was doing prior to going to jail? Now, I am not a person who's rooting against this guy. I never root against anybody. I actually find it a repulsive.
I'm straight up rooting against him. So if he's not going to do it, I'll fucking do it happily. Totally fine with that.
Personality trait to want to see people get destroyed unless they are complete evil bad guys. I don't actually think that's what this guy is. I think he got carried away. Now, this is a horrendous look. Okay, when I saw this, I knew this was coming, dude. When I saw this whole scene, let's watch it real quick. I knew that he was going to get destroyed, and that is exactly what's happened. But let's watch him commit career.
Have you even been allowed to ask the question? I know what you're going to say. Then what was I going to say?
You're going to say, why can't you ask the question?
Okay, how come if I don't have X thing, because I don't value X thing, does that mean X thing is actually valuable?
You've never experienced it, so you can't speak about it.
You think that I haven't experienced wealth?
I was asking if you did.
Even poor people experience days of wealth.
I was asking if you did. I don't know who you are.
But even poor people experience days of wealth. And so
this whole argument, by the way, on this Fresh and Fit podcast thing was so idiotic. And basically what this guy's trying to say is that if you don't desire to have Bugattis or all these nice things, that doesn't make you less than. And Wes is trying to quite literally say that, no, you you need to have these things because that's what qualifies you as a worthwhile man, which is just fucking mind-blowing. I talked about on a video too how in a perfect world, bro, if I had my dream car, it's not a fucking Bugatti. It's like a really renovated 1993 Ford F-150 single cab pickup truck with a 5-speed in it. Actually, correction, 4-speed because they didn't have 5 speeds back then. So it would be my dream to have that car. I don't care about a Bugatti. It's wild.
No, definitely not.
Definitely so. Not. Definitely so.
I've lived the lowest lows and the highest highs.
Well, what's the distinction? After you make X amount, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you look at the studies done on this, it does not.
I don't fit no fucking studies.
It does not hugely improve a person's life.
Are you proud of who the fuck you are?
That's not true.
I think I know what this guy's gonna say, but very clearly, Wes Watson fits the studies, bro. He ex felon or current felon, criminal, drug addict. I mean, this is exactly what I'd expect from someone like this, to be honest.
Definitely not here to defend Wes Watson here at all, but that is not true.
Why
are you proud? If you look in the mirror, would you guys say this motherfucker's proud of who the fuck he is? That's a bag of trash, dude. Pull your fucking shirt off. Tell me you're fucking proud of yourself.
Because I've been to fucking prison?
Jesus Christ,
because
look
I've been
at
to
you,
prison?
bro. You got 10-inch arms.
Like, he literally can't say anything else more powerful. He's trying to create power over this man by pointing at his physique, which, sure, the guy is fucking overweight, whatever. He needs to fix his health. But is that really devaluing his character? Look at fucking Elon Musk. You know what I mean? Like, Elon Musk is definitely not in shape. He's the richest man in the world and has done some of the most underappreciated things in my mind. If you like him or not, that's not whatever. Objectively, though, the man has caught rocket ships from space. Like, we've never been able to do things like that. And he's not in shape. Does that mean he's any less valuable than fucking Wes Watson? Absolutely not. It's irrelevant.
Arms and tits. Men don't have tits.
No, they go to prison where they
Dude got up and got shorter. That's crazy.
get fucking
Fuck yeah,
where
they
get
do.
raped up the ass.
You've never been to prison. Look,
That's
he's talking
what
about shit you
happens.
don't know.
They go to prison where they get raped.
The funny thing about this is Wes made that comment where he said he can be identified by his asshole. He made that comment on a YouTube video. So he's not even, this guy's not even extending the bounds. Andrew's being very logical here.
You get your ass beat in front
You
of
think
everybody.
that that's better? You think that that's better?
Having tits and 10-inch arms is what a man is, you guys.
let's let him
Please
get his-
don't listen to that.
Having tits and 10-inch arms is what a man is what he's like. Please don't listen to that. And so you're a man, like someone who's gone to prison, someone who's a felon, someone who has to hire women, someone who has to take the clothes that he's given to the women he's hired to make sure he can give them to the next female that he hires because he can't afford more clothes for the next female. Like, absolutely just irrational behavior.
I can't help myself. I am just going to say the following thing, okay? People who flex the like, check out the size of my arms thing. Okay. Now, I don't know if everybody knows what my world is, but my world is combat sports. Okay. I still cover UFC. I cover a lot of other stuff now, but like, that's a world I'm dialed into. Okay. Like, as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to jiu-jitsu. And in our world, the guys that literally all they do is lift weights, and then, which is fine, dude. Like, if you just want to lift weights, that's completely fine. Lift weights, get huge. That's awesome. But if you both lift weights and then use that as a reason that you think you can punk people around like you're this big violent threat, that's what I'm talking about. I want to make perfectly clear. People who work out all the time, good for you. That is a positive thing. But if you work out and you get jacked and then you use that to throw your weight around, like, you better not step to me. Okay. I cannot tell how stupid you look to people like me and people who come from my world. Because we're like, that's not going to help you, dude. Okay.
That's another great point. If you guys go on my Instagram channel, you'll see me fighting with some Thai guys in Muay Thai. And those Thai guys, bro, they're 130, maybe 140 pounds on a good day. Super, super small, super skinny. They would absolutely floor me anytime we sparred in seconds. And it's not because I'm super slow. Yes, I'm slower. It is generally because they are killers. They were born and raised to be Muay Thai fighters. It doesn't matter how big they are. They can fuck shit up like instantly. It's scary. It's honestly scary. And the whole thing is like, well, I'm bigger than you, bro. Like, that means I'm fucking stronger. No, not even close. Because I bet one kick from a shin of a small 120 pound, 130 pound Thai guy would absolutely lay Watson out on his back for a fucking week. Absolutely. Yeah. Muscle doesn't help you in fights. It slows you the fuck down. All that oxidation, bro, the amount of oxygen I need per 1 minute of sparring compared to that 140 pound Thai dude is insane. I will be huffing and puffing. Even if I'm conditioned like crazy, I will be huffing and puffing so fast that by the time the Thai dude's just starting to get warm, I'm KO'd already. I'm out. I have to take a break. I have to grab water. It does nothing for you. If we're pushing a truck across the street that's stalled out, sure, having some muscle's great. It works great. But ultimately, if we're talking about actual application and functionality, being ultra uber jacked isn't going to be any kind of indicative factor of you being a fighter or badass or dangerous or any of this stuff. It's why Wes Watson has to have a fucking bodyguard around him, because he could never actually defend himself. Nor, funny enough, could he ever carry a gun, because forever, for the rest of his life in the United States, it will be illegal for him to carry a gun as a fucking felon. How funny is that?
That's not going to help you. You can have all the muscles in the world. All that's going to do is make you tired fast, and then we're going to hurt you. Although you probably won't get to the part where you're tired, because you'll be unconscious before you get tired. Okay, getting big muscles is not a reason to flex yourself as a violent threat to people like us. Okay, people come in with muscle bound all the time. We whip their fucking ass, dude. It doesn't help. okay? It's going to hurt you in that world. So you should, A, stop acting like a violent threat, period, because you're a fucking grown-up. People should be able to look at you and know. You don't have to, like, there's no reason you need to even, or fucking, what's his name that Steven Strang.
Wes dresses like Gandhi and walks around with a man purse. Yeah, the man purse really sells it for me. It's like somehow that's a flex. I could never.
Stop telling people you're going to beat them up unless you go and learn how to beat people up. Otherwise, people who know how to beat people up are going to look at you and believe me, whether they say it or not, because generally you keep it tight to the vest. What we're thinking is, okay, scary. Oh, scary. It's ridiculous. It's dumb. Don't do it. If you're a big guy, learn how to fight and then stop telling people about how you're going to beat them up. I remember, just everybody stop talking about beating people up unless you know how to beat people. Like, if you know how to fight, maybe you can talk about it. If you don't fucking say it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Wes is such a fucking troll, man. It's just insane to me. I never really understood how he made it this far. All right, well, I appreciate y'all for being here for my brain slop content consumption. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, it does me a huge, massive favor. We got videos coming out every day. A video coming out tomorrow. We have a video coming out the next day after that. We have a video coming out for the next day after that. And then I'm just gonna keep making more videos until, you know what? I don't know what the end point is. I like making videos. I'll be honest. That's all I enjoy doing. I just enjoy content production. That's just who I am, I guess. But appreciate y'all being here. Please do me a favor. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a beautiful Saturday. Spend some time with your friends and family. I know I won't, but hopefully you will, and I can live through you. Do things that you've never done before. Try new things. I think that's really important as a human being. And don't pay for Wes Watson's coaching program. I think that's pretty easy. I think that's super simple to do. Maybe not.